Hey guys, this will be one of my first videos of many regarding the Arma 3 tutorial. This will be mainly aimed at my group, Special Arma Service. However, anyone can really watch this. Right, so the mods that we must be using is 3D Enhanced. Okay. Later on in tutorials, I'll make use of the mod called Fen A3. So credit to Revo and Vince for those mods. This couldn't be possible without them. So once again, a big thank you from me. Right guys, so first off what we need to do is we'll need to go and get the editing pack, which will be located in mod list. So you just download that. Okay, it should be a HTML file. So start your Arma 3 launcher, and where it says preset, just expand it. At the bottom there'll be an import button. Give that a nice click. Go to your downloads, click the HTML file and open. It should like direct import that preset and you can save it or rename it. If for whatever reason the Arma 3 launcher doesn't do that, the manual way to rename it or delete presets, if you press Windows key and R together, you should get the run command. If you type that what's in the box, percentage local app data percentage, give that a click and you will go down to the Arma 3 launcher. Straight away you see the obvious folder that we're going to need is the presets one. Go into that, and if you need to rename anything, just right click rename. It will have to have the .preset 2 at the end of it. I don't know if you also have preset 1 or whatnot. Anyway, back to it. So what you're going to need is the new editing pack, which I've named editing pack 3. So there's two ways you can join. You can either like select the one here, or where it says play with mods, you see the arrow on the left, give that a click and give that a click. So that's the first part of the video done. Thank you. The next part of this video will be about the Special Arma Service editing templates. So how you will obtain them and how you open them up. Okay, so the tool that you will need is the PBO tool from Armaholic. Very easy to find. So just open your web browser and Arma 3 PBO Manager. There it is straight away, PBO Manager. Give that a download and install it. Once you've done that, go to the Discord and you will see mission templates under mods and templates. So here are all the HTML files, PBO files that you're going to need. So if you're going to make a mission in Altis, download the Altis one. So give that a download and you will download the PBO. I'll do it for example. Alright, so that's downloaded. So we go to downloads, wherever that is. I've lost, there it is. So you have template3.altis. So with PBO Manager installed, give that a right click and you should have a PBO Manager at the top under open. What I'll do is click the bottom one, extract to template3.altis. And that'll give you a folder. Alright, so give that a nice cut and then go to your documents, Arma 3, and what I've done is I've created a shortcut to this missions folder on my desktop. So go into missions and then paste it in. Simple as that. Okay. So once you're in the game, open up your template. So I've got Molden open. Alright, so this is the template. So as you can see, you got the old player setup there with the Zeus modules. You got all the respawn points. So the only thing you're going to need to do is you can either build this mission on the template3.molden, or you can make another mission file, which is just go file, save as, and I'm just going to go test video. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do after this, just confirm up here that it says test video.molden. Okay, so the main vital thing that people keep forgetting to do is carrying over the JPEG files for the assigns. Okay, so Alt Tab. Okay, go to the missions folder we found earlier, and you want to go to the template folder here. Copy all of this, not cut, copy, and go to your new mission file, which is here, testvideo.molden, and give that a paste. That is it. That is all of what we asked for you guys to do. Alright, the next video will be coming up shortly. So this section of the video will be about general settings. So at the top you've got scenario, edit, view, attributes, tools, setting, play, help. So go to attributes and general. This is where you can name your mission, who it's by, and what allegiance and dependence are. By default we've set it to against they're both here. So if you want independent friendly with opt4, you give it a tick. Okay, intro text is a nice thing to do. So for example, you give that a delay of around 30 seconds. This is what happens on the first line, second and third, and the demonstrations are below what it will look like. After you've done what you're doing, press OK. Right, environment, pretty self-explanatory. Set the date, month, and the day. The time. Sorry about that, I had to cancel a call. Yeah, so time multiplier, how fast time accelerates in the world. Weather forecast, how quick the time changes in the weather. So let's say you've got an overcast start of 30% and the forecast is going to be 75. So how long it will take for the overcast to get to the forecasted value is dictated here. So it will take half an hour for the overcast to kick in, or start kicking in. Tweak about this as you will. The fog's a bit more complicated. It's all about base height, decay, etc. Alright, the next one, important, the multiplayer settings. This is all done for you, so you shouldn't have to do anything. But just so I can teach you, so what game type is, the cooperative mission, how many players the mission can support. Untick this box, because when you go in the lobby, it'll all be assigned to AI. Respawn type is custom position, so when you join in, you select your spot and then spawn in. This respawn delay must have a value, so we've put it to 5 seconds. And save loadout. So what save loadout does is, as you can see here, we've got custom player slots. So save loadout will save what I've put down in the editor, so what you'll spawn in as. And that is pretty much it. Oh, dynamic groups. When you press U, you can make your own groups and get people to join it. That is that. Performance. Right, so this is diving into the deep end now. Garbage collection is pretty self-explanatory. So character corpses, you can set to all scenario objects, only objects that can respawn, or only objects that cannot respawn. So for example, AI bodies are things that can't respawn. How many of max of this item that you want before the garbage collection kicks in. So at the moment it's at 15. So if there's more than 15 dead AI in the mission, it will kick in and start removing them. Same again for vehicle wrecks. Again, cannot respawn, and if you want like 5. The min delay is time in seconds, how soon it will kick in, to the longest it will kick in. I mean, you can change that down to 20 minutes or whatnot. Right, so that's the basic settings. Now you're ready to start your mission. So in this section of the video, I'm going to be talking about the dynamic simulation and simulation as a whole, and what you should do for each type of object and how you would do it. So with props, the best thing to do is disable simulation altogether. The shortcut key for this is Alt E. Then you'll see a nice red box with the object. Right, for a single unit, if you notice, what we want to do is set this to dynamic simulation. This is done in performance. So at what radius? When a player gets this close to the AI, the simulation will be enabled. So if I was standing 1300 meters away, this unit would be spawned in like this, and they would not move or do anything, or follow any waypoints, or take damage, or shoot at you. If I was 1249 meters away, this would then spawn in and start moving around and following commands and waypoints, etc. So what you would do to enable dynamic simulation on a singular unit, you click him once and you see the banner above his head. Give that a click and do the shortcut key Alt D. You get the blue box here. On single units, you don't get that banner above his head by default, as you do on groups. So you need to click him once and click the banner separately. As for groups, it's a lot easier. You can just click the banner straight away. It selects all the troops. Alt D. As simple as that. The reason why we disable simulation altogether on props is because it reduces the network traffic on the server. So the server will not request updates from that particular prop in terms of health, etc. And that's that part of the video. More to come. In this video, I'm going to be talking about garrisoning troops manually and with the mod. An optional mod that you can use is called ZEI. I'll go into that in a bit. Right, so to manually garrison a house, if you want to put units in a specific place and you don't want him to move out of that house or his position, so what you do, you find the house on the map, pretend this isn't a prop. Find the house on the map you want to use, okay, place down the unit you want to put in it. Right, mind you, you got to keep doing that, it's annoying. Right, so place him where you want him. So I want him to be on the second floor. And in the corner, because I want him to shoot you as you come in the room. Right, so don't forget to remember to... that doesn't make sense. Don't forget to enable the dynamic simulation, so click him once and click the banner, Alt D. Okay, at the moment if you previewed the mission and with VCOM he will go and investigate noises, vice versa. You don't want him to do that, you don't want him to move. So you double click on him and you scroll down to disable AI features. Click that to expand it, and you want to tick the box that says path. And what it does, it stops AI's movement but not the target alignment. So what it does is it will let him go prone, it'll let him crouch, it'll let him turn, it'll let him aim and shoot, but he will not move. As simple as that. Alright, so now if you wanted to automatically garrison a building using the ZEI module, go to modules, interiors, ZEI, and garrison building. Alright, this module picks up any closest buildings that it supports, so give that a click and it should say up here what building you've selected. Alright, pick a faction, so I'm just going to pick blue for. How many units? 9. And always tick this box, so it does the simulation thing for you. Press OK. And at the bottom it says error, no units found for faction. Not sure why. So let's go down again and we'll pick a different faction. Let's try this one. There you go. As you can see, it will garrison the building for you. You can move people around. Okay, if you double click on them, it does automatically disable the path. Alright, and that is how you garrison a building. On this video, I'm going to be doing waypoints and what types of waypoints you can use and why and when. So I'm going to place down a fire team. Take that player off. Don't forget to do the simulation. Alt D. Okay, I want him to patrol around this house. So if you want to select the, just select the team leader. Shift right click and it'll place a waypoint. Cool. Now, if you want them to move to this destination in a particular way, i.e. you want him to walk on safe mode, you just do that. Now let's make the rest of the waypoints. So I hold Shift, right click, and right click. So on the second waypoint, you'll see unchanged. This means it will use the first waypoint's state, so to speak. So it will continue to walk in a safe mode in limited speed. Alternatively, you can double click the group's banner and set them into aware and limited speed that way. You can also use the patrol function here. It will give a random patrol in, let's say, 400 meters. Okay, so the last waypoint, as you can see, we've placed it near us because there's no other waypoint nearby. Double click it, okay, and under waypoint type, scroll up to the top and you'll see cycle. As you can see straight away, the symbol changes and it will link to the closest waypoint or U, indicating that it's gonna lock the sequence in a loop. So once the unit gets to the last waypoint, it will come back and start again. If you wanted to mix it up, make it a bit more random, double click the waypoints, okay, expand the transformation box and it will see a placement radius value. So you could put a 100-meter radius that the waypoint can be completed. If you go into map mode, you'll see it's got a nice big ring around that waypoint. So this means this unit will go to anywhere in this circle randomly as the first waypoint. So he may go over here. So he may decide to go here first, or if you restart the mission, he may go here first, then proceed to waypoint 2. You can make them different sizes. So this one's going to be 20. So after him potentially going to this place for the first waypoint, he may go here for the second. You kind of get how this works. Alright, so that is the basic patrol function. You may know a better way to do it, a quicker way, but this is the way I know and it works perfectly. Okay, so the next one I'm going to show you is the dismissed. This one is fantastic. It adds a lot more randomness to your mission. Don't forget, disable the simulation. So give that a click, and what you want to do is just right click, shift right click, if it works, make a waypoint. What you want to do is scroll up to the top and it'll be dismissed, the third one down, and double click on the banner to set it to safe mode. This means that this group will go to here and basically do what the fuck it wants. Right, for example, this soldier here may go for a walk off. You may go walking over here. This guy may follow him. This guy might choose, you know what, I'm going to sit down. This guy might go over here. Right, every time you play it, it'll do something different. It adds so much more dynamic to the missions as well. It looks so more natural per se. Right, so I'm just going to, that's the dismissed waypoint. Now I'm going to show you what the sentry one does. So find that. Sentry. So what this one will do is it will work with the waypoint guard. For this little tutorial, I'm going to put down another group, and he's going to be over here. I'm going to give him a waypoint guard. So what this will do is, if these guys who are acting as a sentry spot any targets or start engaging or be engaged by any targets, it will send a message to this group here as on guard. So you could have them way over here, and as soon as the guys over there on sentry spot an enemy, these guys will instantly go to the last known location of the what this group sees. So it acts like a QRF. Alright, the next little video I'm going to do is regarding triggers and how to make a simple reinforcement. Alright, so for this little video I'm just going to show you how to set a waypoint activated trigger. So if you want to make a reinforcement, so way off in the hill, what you would do is, set this one here, make them safe, force hold fire, or actually careless, so they won't react to anything. As you can see, I've placed a waypoint in front of it. So what I'm going to do is, when you place down a trigger, I'll get into that later on, set waypoint activation. Give that a sync, a nice blue line will sync them up together. This means this team here will hold on this waypoint until that trigger has been set off, and then this group will proceed to that one there. So you need to make sure that the second waypoint, just remember they're on careless, so you don't want that. They're on force hold fire and careless. So what you want to do is open fire, keep formation, behavior aware, and get them off walking mode, so sprint, because they're reinforcements after all. So what I'm going to do is show you an example on how this trigger would be set off. Okay, let's so if you want it set off by a player being in the area, give it a double click, activation, any player present. Simple as that. Just going to place myself down. I'm going to bring them closer just to show you what they do. Get them to run to me. And of course the old lovely Arma 3 loading times, even on an M.2. So as you can see, that group there is holding their position. They're not running towards me, because I've not walked into the trigger area and triggered it. So what I'm going to do, run forward. I believe I've triggered it now. So now they're going to be set on aware, and they're now going to start moving towards the second waypoint, thus being a QRF. Alright, and I hope you make use of that next video coming shortly. Alright, in this short little clip, I'll just be running through the other types of waypoints that you may find useful. So if you just, well, you place down a waypoint, and right, I'll go from the top to bottom. So cycle, we already know what that does. So if you want to make a patrol, you put the cycle at the end, and it should loop. Destroy, It's quite simple. If you place this waypoint on an AI or an object, the person with the waypoint will just try and kill it, regardless of the side or anything. So you can put this on civilians and the AI will just shoot them. Dismissed, it will, like I mentioned in the earlier in the video, they will do pretty much what they want. They will just relax and go for a walk, sit down, that sort of thing. Most of these are pretty self-explanatory. If you want to use a get in waypoint near a vehicle, so let's say we put down a car or a car. By default, it will be blue. If you hold Alt, it will just place down the empty one. Now, if you sync that, no wait, you just drag it on. There you go, get in. Nice. Even I make mistakes. Anyway, moving forward. You put get in on the object or get in near the object. Get out, self-explanatory. Guard, I've already covered. Hold. The AI will hold and dig in and garrison any nearest buildings, and they will not move after that. I don't know why, but it's just not sure why. So I wouldn't really use that one. Join, you're probably relevant. These you probably won't need to use. Lift cargo, self-explanatory. Load would be, so for example, this is a good one actually. I haven't done this in a while. Right, so put a load waypoint there, and if you had a helicopter, who is coming into land, if you put a waypoint there, so that they've got a load waypoint, and this one's got what you want is a transport. No, it's the other way around. You want the helicopter to have load, and this one to have a get in. And you just sync these together. So basically what will happen is this helicopter will land and then this AI will get in. Long story short. But again, you probably won't need to use this. Carrying on. Loiter is one for air vehicles only. So loiter would mean they'll just circle the area. Seek and destroy. The AI will seek and not seek. They'll move to the location and they'll basically move around the area searching for any more threat. It lasts for about 5 minutes. They'll just continue searching around the area. Transport unload. So if you set this on a car full of people, the car will stop and let the passengers out. So that's the main of the waypoints. To be honest, I don't use that many, only the ones that I've covered more in depth. This will conclude the first episode of my tutorial series. If you request anything specific, let me know and I'll make a detailed video on it. And I'll get cracking on the next episode. Yeah, thanks guys.